All right. Hello, beautiful people. We are here for the energy update of August 25th, 2025. And we have Virgo season upon us. We just switched into that. So I'm going to give you a brief overview of the energy that's going on between the astrology, the human design gates, gene keys, and yeah, all the things going on in the universe right now. We're going to compile it all into one short little clip for you guys to be able to work with the energy. And if you notice any of it playing out in your lives. So the we actually have the gate 59, and that actually started on the 22nd. So that was about 3 days ago, and that's the gate of sexuality. And so we'll start there and kind of go in order of how it's all going to play out. So that started about 3 days ago, and it's going to go until for another 3 more days till the 28th. And so that's about kind of breaking down barriers to develop intimacy and bonding that creates valuable partnerships. And so you kind of just want to really watch out for any kind of dishonest behavior in yourself. That's going to be the shadow of this energy. So you're really going to want to move towards having more transparency with yourself and with others. Look at it with eyes wide open and see what's working and what's not working, and come together. And that the I Ching even says about gentleness serves to break up and dissolve blockage. And so that goes along with like this whole disillusion. Like we have this illusion that we're all separate, but really if we can all come together in a gentle way, we can realize that we can work together instead of against each other so much. And so just trying to be more vulnerable with people is going to be beneficial for us, but not, you want to just be mindful where vulnerability is a really good thing, but it can also bite you in the butt because I definitely have this energy in my own life where I can overshare, and that is not always beneficial to you. Not everybody wants that. Um, so you have to use your discernment and be vulnerable to people who you feel safe being vulnerable to and who are going to be willing to receive that um in a safe way for you. Um, so some questions to contemplate then is around this is, what is your relationship to vulnerability, honesty, and intimacy, and how's that showing up for you? And the some affirmations that you can even tell yourself through this process is, I create intimacy through vulnerability. Um, that's a really powerful one. And so then we have the new moon in Virgo. That was on the 23rd. And that is really, you're going to want to do a lot around this. This is actually a really potent time, this new moon, because this new moon, from what I understand here, is we have a new moon now at the 0 degrees, and then there's actually two new moons in Virgo this month, which is super rare. And the second new moon in Virgo is going to happen on the 29th degree. So the 0 degree is the beginning of creation, and the 29th degree is the end of creation. And so we have this 30-day window then, which is really going to be super potent and powerful for calling in what you want. And also because the new moons are more for manifesting, this first new moon is going to be where you really want to set your intentions for what you're calling in, because the second new moon falls on the eclipse. And so the eclipses kind of get treated a little differently than the new moons, where it's not so much like the calling in energy, because things are really going to be shifting and changing during eclipse season. So this new moon that we just had, like I said, it's a total reset. And so there might be some like dramatic changes come in and some new ideas and information, not necessarily bad. It could be good changes, good information. But so just like some advice there is to just ride the emotional wave of what's going on. And it's gonna be definitely more heightened for the mutable signs right now. So that's gonna be like your Virgos, your Geminis, your Sagittarius, and your Pisces. If you have those in your big three, you are definitely going to want to pay attention to the energy going on right now. It's going to be super potent. And so, like I said, we're at the 0 point of creation right now. And so it kind of, what that means is like, take a CNC machine, for example. Um, Before you're able to machine a part on that machine, a metal piece, like you just take a metal block and you put it on the machine, you have to dial in that machine. And what I mean by that is that you have to go home, you have to dial in home, and you have to go to the 0 point. And you cannot start your creation until the machine is set up in that 0 point. And then from the 0 point, then you can create whatever you had programmed in the G code that got downloaded in the CNC to create your part. And so in that, to me, I'm like, okay, we have to go home. We have to go home to ourselves first before we can start creating. And so a lot of that is, what does that mean? You got to create safety, and you got to create structure in your life, and you got to make home inside of you, not something outside of you. You need to find home. And then once you find home, you're right there. And we are all at the 0 point of creation right now with the new moon in Virgo being here. And also Virgo is very much, kind of like tied to kind of taking care of your physical body even. And so yeah, it's a rare moment in time. So whatever you're calling in actually has the energy to manifest and into form through consistent commitment and devotion right now. So definitely you want to take your life seriously, and like, what things can you envision for yourself and that you have been seeing, but you haven't quite actually taken action in yet. Now's the time to really get serious and implement them. And this is a very much like, don't talk about it, be about it energy. So believe it and be it. Don't try to do it. Like, just show up. Um, right now. So yeah, your health, your mindset, your nervous system, we have to tend to all of it. We have to tend to the maintenance on our machine. Like, if we're the machine, if we're not doing the regular maintenance, our machine is going to fail. Or what happens when you don't do the proper maintenance on a machine and you're giving it the right fluids and the oils that it needs? It's like it doesn't work right. And then when it starts breaking, everything seems to break at once. And then, so if you're not doing the routine maintenance, then you go in and because you have an issue, and then, next thing you realize you got like five or six other things that needed attention to, but because you weren't doing the preventative maintenance all along, you didn't really know. And now it's like this huge thing. Like, you go in for a routine oil change, and then the mechanic tells you there's all this, that, and the other thing wrong. You need, like, new ball joints and tie rod ends and all these things, new brake pads. Is like a whole thing because you just weren't taking care of it intermittently. And now, so you have this huge bill. You got thousands of dollars of a bill that you probably weren't prepared for. But, like if you did the preventive maintenance, it would have just been like a couple hundred here, a couple hundred there. So like now, like you have all this energy and stuff like that, and it's like money. Like, are you saving to be able to spend like all that money, like those thousands of dollars like that? So you just kind of like really want to be mindful of your energy in that sense as well. Like, where are you putting all your energy and do you have extra energy to spend because you didn't do all the preventative maintenance this whole time? And like, so yeah, it's like a vehicle, and we need our bodies are a vehicle, and our soul's vehicle that's going to get us to where we're going. And so it's important that we have our vehicles maintained and ready to be able to take us where we want to go. Um, and yeah, so let's like use this Virgo energy then to put our bodies on a schedule so that way we're less likely to be like left on the side of the road and like because our nervous system frapped out because we weren't doing the daily meditations, the qigong, the tai chi, like we weren't doing the breath work or the yoga. Like what type of things do you know that might actually create a positive change for you if you were just to do it every day? How can you nurture yourself, your mind, body, and soul through this expansion that we're going through? It's like I said, super powerful time, especially like with eclipse season coming up and stuff. Like, let's really take that, like this time right here to set our intentions for this next 6 months of how do we want to show up and what do we want to embody and what would stabilize our field right now to bring in more sanity and safety and structure into our lives. And a lot of it is we know what we need to be doing. I think a lot of us think we need more external stimulus telling us what we need to be doing, but I think right now is the time we need less external stimulus and more embodying the things that we already know instead of trying to like learn more. So yeah, all the answers are within. That's huge right now. Like, tune into yourself right now. This is so crucial, so important. And recalibrate your nervous system to receive what you're calling in. So you definitely want to look towards like the root chakra. That definitely is going to be tied to your nervous system and being able to hold the vision of your desired outcome. And so then, like, yeah, what actionable goals can you embody and apply for this reset? Like, we know what hasn't been working. We're getting kind of clear on all that. Like, so now it's time to start doing the things that we know do work. Whether it be you need to go start walking however many steps, be super specific in the goals that you're going to be setting. Um, and like also, what are you consuming on a daily basis? That's going to be a huge thing for your energy. You're managing your energy. Because it's like we consume and take in so many things, but then like how are we releasing the energy as well? We need to like be releasing the energy just as much as we're consuming the energy and taking it in. Otherwise, we're going to be like overwhelmed and then like also emotionally constipated, because if you eat and eat and eat and eat, like you gotta poop sometime. Like it's the same way with even just like any, you know, information that we're getting in energetically. You have to release it. So it's not just like built up inside of you. And so like now is a really good time to be prioritizing our own health and well-being and the projects that make us feel excited, and makes us feel good and doing the things that we know is going to bring like health and wellness to our body because when we feel good, it's going to be we're going to be in a much better place to be able to take care of the people around us and serve them at a higher level. So some things to just check in on right now is check in on your nervous system, check in on your nutrition, your movement, your activity level. How's your water consumption looking like? Let's be real about that. Your sleep hygiene, your bedtime routine, what's that looking like? Your morning routine, your social connections and your family dynamics, your addictions. We need to get those in check and under control. And then like check in on your spiritual journey, your faith walk, and like your presence and your being from in every day-to-day life. How are you showing up? And do you feel good about how you're showing up? So right now we want to create those clear, specific goals. We want to really do like work on our strategy and our execution and our embodiment of all of it. So I really want to take this time right now to say, right now, let's commit to one thing, pick one thing that you really want to get better at, you want to improve on. And for the next 30 days, you're going to do it every day for 30 minutes. You're going to build that habit because habits, we can change our habits. We're not stuck in our habits. Yeah. And like every little change adds up and like makes a huge difference. So it's the little changes actually that make the big changes. So we want to focus on the little changes and not get too overwhelmed with the big grand vision. So definitely just taking it one step at a time, because as you take it one step at a time, the next steps are going to be revealed, kind of like walking through the dark with a lantern. You're not going to see the whole big picture, but you can see right in front of you. So just focus on those steps right there in front of you, and that is going to be um, the move right now. And so let's do that. Let's focus on progress over perfection. Virgo has that shadow where like it's very perfectionistic. So let's try to like be mindful of that and like love our imperfections, love our failures, like love the journey and try to be satisfied when you're even at like when something is like 80, 90% good, when it's good enough, like full send, like let it go. Don't try to like aim for everything being 100% because you're really going to drive yourself crazy. And also ditch the overthinking right now because that's just like not the vibe. We really want to get out of our minds and into our bodies because our minds is the only thing that's really going to lie to us and could potentially steer us in the wrong direction. And so we really want to be trusting our inner wisdom and our higher self guidance right now. So focus on like reconnecting with yourself on a deeper level. And it's kind of, I heard this reference, kind of like when you're sailing, if you're 1 degree off on your path, you can end up somewhere completely different than where you wanted to go. So that 1 degree or that 1% change, like those little things make such a huge difference in the final destination. So it seems minor, but it's actually so important. And so if we just focus on these little minor changes, like that's where the money is. That's where our gold is going to be at. So yeah, so 30 minutes for 30 days. That's going to equal like 15 hours of doing the thing that you want to improve at, or the thing that you want, will bring more prosperity to your life. And what is that thing that you want to do? Because it's I think it's 10,000 hours to master something. If you want to master something, you have to do it for 10,000 hours. So I'll give you a good start. We'll do it together, right? In the group, we're all going to be supporting each other. So drop in the group what your one thing is that you're going to commit to, and you're going to really show up with this devoted energy and um like what do you want to embody? Like, this is all about your future self. So, really tap into your future self and be like, what do you see them doing? Like, what are they doing? What does their daily habits look like? What are they not doing? Like if you're somewhere where you have an addictive pattern or behavior or something that you just don't want to do as much, then also now's the time to just also create structure around that as well, like slowing it down. Like if you're a cigarette smoker, if smoking 5 cigarettes a day, like now you smoke like 1 cigarette a day or something like that for X amount of time until you decide like you don't smoke at all. Or, like there's ways that you can create structure around weaning yourself off of things for a certain amount of time that feels right for you. Like, obviously, don't kid yourself, but, be real and you'll get real results. Um, and I mean, the only person you're going to cheat is yourself, too. So definitely all about like that embodying energy, like is super huge. And then like on the 28th, we're also like going to be walking into the next gate is going to be the gate 40, is gate of aloneness. And that's going to kind of give us like the energy, the drive to work hard and provide, but it's also going to make us have also the need for rest and recuperation. So it's about that balance. We want to make sure we're balancing that energy so we don't burn out, especially from like over given to others. So it's going to be a really good time to like just notice that if you are overgiven or expending energy that you don't really have to give and you need to give it to yourself, definitely you want to take note of that. Hopefully, like around this time, it seems like there'll be more tensions and complications should start to ease up a little bit. So that's a nice thing because it seems like there's going to be a lot of just challenges popping up to make sure that we are on the way to our higher selves and however that needs to look. But so take these moments to reconnect with yourself and also, like, what would you be doing if you weren't trying to prove your worth to others? Because I know that's a big thing for me. Sometimes I spend a lot of time doing what I think other people expect of me instead of doing the things that I would rather be doing. So just take notice of things like that. And what do you need to start doing, stop doing, and continue doing? Um, and through all of this, make sure you give yourself a lot of grace and compassion. Treat yourself like you would a young child or your best friend, lots of love, curiosity, and understanding. It's definitely going to be an intense energy, but it's nothing that serious. It really isn't. It's all in our perspectives and how we choose to work with it. And so, couple of questions just to like review over that is like, what's your relationship to being in service to others? Like, are you overgiven? Do you have boundaries, like strong boundaries in place? Are you able to give with a overflowing cup? Or, what's your situation when it comes to being in service to others? Um, because boundaries are truly a beautiful thing. So the more boundaries we can have, the more powerfully we can show up in service, and honor in ourselves as we honor others too. So honor your own need for alone time and rest and relaxation during this time. And yeah, let's all just be really super mindful about um our visions and what we're calling in right now because this is the time. Whatever you are manifesting, if you put your effort into it, your focus, your intention, big things will happen, I do believe. So stay in it. Show up for yourself, show up for your body, take care of yourself, love yourself, and show up in the group so that way we can all support you as well. I'm definitely going to be putting in what I'm doing for the next 30 days. So I want everybody else to also throw in what they're doing so we can all hold each other accountable and, lift each other up. So that's what I got for you for the update. And we will see you next week for another update. Adios.